Hey, Sharon. Hey, I figured out how to upload a video file. I hope you can see it on the screen. It looks like it's visible from where I'm sitting. The only problem is it's so tiny. I can't read those little letters. So I have it open so I can read it from the other one. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Paul. Can you guys see on the screen, does it say medical abuse with a question mark? Okay, good, good. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, I'm going to read this post and we'll kind of work our way through. I'll give you here, I can do this. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like there's probably about 12 or 15, probably about 12. I don't know how many. So we'll take a look at these. Now I'm going to click on the one that is large enough for me to read. So let me know when I come back after I read this one, if when I click on the other one, that's what you see. And it doesn't matter anyway, because it'll be easier for you to read. Okay, this first one is dated November 11 of 2017, and it says Shannon Watts added a new photo to the album, The Girls, with Bella Marie Watts and Celeste Catherine. And she says, this is real life. Up at 5 a.m. with 2 sick kiddos. Boy, am I happy I have Thrive on my side. Energy and patience to take care of them and deal with the emotional neediness of 2 toddlers. Oh, and the fighting that still happens, sick or not. Okay, when I just read that, did you see the larger one? Or was it exactly like it is right now? Two sick kiddos up at 5 a.m. And look at the date too. November 11th of 2017. That would have been the month before she stopped making the house payments. Right? And then what, 3 months later, they took the 10K out of the 401K. She said the album was titled The Girls. Let's take a look at the next one. Oh, wait, let me see. I'll advance it first on this screen. Actually, if you want, we can go ahead and listen to the video, I think. I don't know. It's a really old video, so I'm not sure what I said in it. We'll try it and see if it sounds too hokey, then I'll go ahead and just talk. Let's see here. Okay. Hey, guys. You know, when I first took a look at the case of Christopher Watts, I was actually digging into the case to find warning flags that Christopher Watts was. Can you guys hear this? Did you just hear my voice say, hey, guys? when I first looked into the case, blah, blah, blah. Did you hear that or no? Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and play it. If it sounds too weird, though, I'm going to turn it off because some of my old videos, I was just asking a bunch of questions, not knowing for sure anything, right? Okay, here we go. When I first took a look at the case of Christopher Watts, I was actually digging into the case to find warning flags that Christopher Watts was some kind of an abuser. I wanted to find those warning flags and I wanted to point them out to other people so that other people could learn about domestic violence and child abuse. And so that other people could learn how important it is to understand that the moment an abuser realizes they're losing control over their victims is the most dangerous moment of the relationship. I wanted to find those warning flags and point them out so that other people could learn about domestic violence and child abuse, so that other children like Bella and Cece could be safe in their own home. But you know what? I didn't find any warning flags at all that Christopher Watts was an abuser. In fact, what I found, in my opinion, was that Christopher Watts was being abused. What I found was an emasculated male who seemed afraid of his wife, a man who was walking on eggshells in order to please the mother of his children. And what I saw were two little girls with sadness in their eyes. And what I saw in all of those videos was a woman who treated her husband and her children like shit. November 11th, 2017. This is real life, up at 5 a.m. with two sick kiddos. Boy, am I happy I have Thrive on my side. Energy and patience to take care of them and deal with the emotional neediness of two toddlers. Yeah, she doesn't mention the fact that her daughters were in daycare 5 days a week. Rumor has it on social media that she liked to put essential oils in the children's nebulizers. On to the next specialist. This is July 8th of 2016. On to the next specialist. Are you kidding me? Checked into Avista Adventist Hospital. And on to the next specialist with exclamation points. Children's Hospital, North Campus, September 25th, 2016. Well, pneumonia it is. It's absolutely beautiful out and Bella's sick. January 18, 2015. Her and Bella both have drainage, tears, since birth. Bella's cleared on her own at 8 months. Celeste isn't. Oh, here we go, the nut meltdown. I'll tell you. I think I'm going to have to do another video on that nut meltdown because that really deserves some attention. And I just want to interrupt here for a second. This is a really old video because did you hear what I just said in this video? I'm going to have to do a video on the nut meltdown because that deserves attention. That's like 20 nut meltdown videos ago. I just wanted to comment on that. This video must be really old. Anaphylaxis is a rare but severe allergic reaction. It can occur suddenly, can worsen quickly, and can be deadly. In capital letters. Celeste is severely anaphylactic to all tree nuts and kiwi. This isn't new. That was on July 9th of 2018. And I think that birthday party was on July 15th, I believe. And you know, there was an FU somewhere in there and to her mother-in-law on social media, and there were all sorts of different stories about what really happened that day. But like I said, I'll make another video on it because that nut meltdown deserves a video all its own. But just for the record, I don't think either one of the girls, either one of them, had any allergies whatsoever. January 19, 2015, grocery store for more Pedialyte. Sick and she's still happy. If you don't know, Pedialyte is what you give to your babies if they have an upset stomach, diarrhea, vomiting. It's to make sure that they're getting their fluids and also getting their minerals. December 20, 2017. Bella's 4-year well check today. 38 pounds. And 9 months later, she would be 40 pounds. I thought that was interesting. July 19, 2017. Children's Hospital, North Campus. Last night, Bella was admitted to Children's North Campus because she was retracting and working hard to breathe. After 3 breathing treatments, deep suction, steroids, and oxygen, she finally fell asleep about 4 a.m. She's a tough little girl. It was a rough night, but she got through it. As of right now, there's no talk about us leaving today nor tomorrow. We are walking with her, trying to keep her moving, but also resting. Between Celeste's hospital visit last week for difficulty breathing, I'm going to know all the RTs, nurses, and doctors over here. March 22nd, 2018. Oh my God, this kid. Environmental allergy testing about to go down. Oh my goodness. I'm so grateful I can go to her I'm so grateful I can go to her weekly, daily appointments. I'm my own boss. I can always be there for my kids. Yeah. And the kids were in daycare 5 days a week. Right. April 7, 2016. 4 hours in the same room with doctors for the girls will make you go crazy. No comment. January 16, 2015. Wore her out this morning between gym, doctor, and mall. Covered her eyes like a face mask. Silly girl. Do you really believe that this baby put that headband over her eyes? Ballerina, the future ballerina. Yep, it's a really good idea to let your child climb over the back of whatever that is, the chair, right by the stairs. September 8th, 2016. They are the ones with the germs. Only right they help me disinfect. On this post, she said that Bella went under the sink and got the disinfectant out and the rag, and there she is spraying it, and Cece's cleaning the table. I'm thinking that disinfectant is kept under the sink with a child-proof latch for a reason. Especially when you have sick children, they probably shouldn't be inhaling disinfectant. Just a thought. September 29, 2014. Bella just can't catch a break. Back-to-back sick for over a month. 10-day cold, 15-day diarrhea. And now we are on day 3 of a cold again. 15-day diarrhea? No wonder she was buying Pedialyte at the grocery store. She says, can't wait to wake her and suction the gunk out of her. If you can't find us, we will be steaming. And again, rumor has it, she was using essential oils. No kidding. With a couple of kids who had asthma. Rumor has it she was using eucalyptus oil in the steamer. If you don't know the significance of that, you may want to do a little research. This is when she claims that she bruised her hand saving Cece from the cement. This is when she was spraying Bella right in the eyes, right in her little face, over and over again, and laughing and saying, this is why we had kids. This is when little Cece was showing her daddy her boo-boo on top of her wrist. Little garbage picking going on. Yeah, it's always good to be able to climb right out of that crib and fall straight on your head. This is when poor little Cece was crying for her mom to help her, and her mom stood there with her phone and didn't help her. Evidently, she was thirsty. Do you know what is stuck across Bella's face? Do you know what? It's right on her mouth. It's stuck right across her mouth. Do you know what that is? And her mother thinks it's funny. I'm going to stop it here for a second. Do you guys know what that is that Bella has stuck on her mouth? I don't know if you can see it very well. Exactly. Exactly. So she has it stuck on her mouth. And then it looks like there are at least 3 pictures taken. Cosmic, it's a sanitary pad. Feminine products. That's the way to say it, Jennifer. So she has one stuck on her mouth. No, not a Thrive patch. It's a sanitary pad. And then this was posted on social media. 3 different pictures of Bella walking around with a sanitary pad stuck to her mouth. There is a condition known as Munchausen by proxy. It's typically a condition that mothers have, and their victims are typically preschool-age children. The 3 most common ways that they harm their children. Number 1, malnutrition. That can mean giving them foods that will make them sick to their tummies, or not feeding them a well-balanced diet. Number 2 is poisoning, which can be done with medication. Rumor has it that Bella and Cece used to be given Benadryl so they'd sleep. And of course, who can forget the video where their mother says that she gave them lots of Tylenol? And the 3rd most common way that mothers of preschool-age children who have Munchausen by proxy medically abuse their children is smothering. So what'd you think of that? You know, I said it the other day, but a lot of these screenshots that we have are no longer able to be found on the internet, right? So I think a lot of people have watched that docudrama and then they hop on the internet and then they see all these different channels and it's like they don't see what we've been seeing for 2.5 years. And this is just a photo of Bella being sprayed in the face. Just imagine if the video of it played. I don't see how anybody can look at that video and hear her laugh and say, this is why we had kids and not be bothered by that. Lisa says, when you put it all together, it's a compelling argument for MBP, especially when you read off the dates. Both kids are sick again. It was like monthly, at least. And some of those times were like 5 days, 9 days, you know? Were they sick more often than they were healthy? This is the type of thing that we should be discussing about the case of Christopher Watts, in my opinion. This is exactly what we should be discussing, because somewhere out there right now, there is a mother who is giving her kids Tylenol and Benadryl at bedtime. That video where she said lots of Tylenol, it makes you wonder what people thought when they heard her say that. What dose is lots of Tylenol? And why didn't people say, wait, whoa, whoa, wait a minute? Judy says that she has never seen the headband over the face video with a big fake flower. It was a picture that was posted on social media, and she's claiming that they went to the gym, and then they went to the doctor, and then they went to the mall. But the way that was positioned right over her face, I don't see a baby doing that. I just don't. Summer Breeze said there could be others out there now thinking that it's normal about the Tylenol and Benadryl at bedtime. If anybody in this live chat is giving their children Tylenol and Benadryl at bedtime, please don't. Please talk to your pediatrician. AQ, if you're able to delete your last comment, please do. I think a lot of people do wonder why they had pillows and blankets in their beds like that, the heavier blankets. Why so many photos with their faces covered? Lisa says she was a saint. She was a wonderful mother. Sandy says that she's read that Benadryl dries up your throat and asks, could that be why Cece had throat issues? Paul says, yes, Lisa, a retired nurse. I agree with you, Robin. Robin says one dose is too much if they are not sick. I have had a lot of people say that they do give their kids Benadryl when they travel and stuff. I don't know. I don't remember anybody ever doing that when my kids were little, right? I don't think moms used to do that at all. But every night, you know, this video that I just played was made a long time ago, long before I spoke with Cindy Watts on that phone conversation. But remember, I asked her about it and she said yes. She told me that the girls would lean their heads back like two little birdies. And she said that when she took her daughter-in-law on that shopping spree and spent $375 so that she could be sure to have the foods that her daughter-in-law wanted to have in the house, that she also included Benadryl and Tylenol in that shopping spree. And she said she still had the packages there. This too shall pass, move on says it's supposed to make kids sleepy. Could be why they were always so thirsty. Kay Cooper says, I don't know about y'all, but the last 12 years, anytime my son was actually sick, I was so paranoid about giving him any meds over the counter. I just can't imagine dosing up at bedtime. And it wasn't even bedtime, really. I mean, it was more like dinner time. Paul says, I don't get the official narrative on this case. Are people deluded? Well, I think part of it, Paul, is that a lot of these screenshots that you just saw, they've been scrubbed. So I think a lot of people haven't seen a lot of what we've seen, right? Especially the people who watched the docudrama and then hopped on YouTube. Private Pirate says, if you're a mother dosing your young kids with Benadryl or Tylenol now, stop it. Definitely, if you think that your children need to have Benadryl and Tylenol, please speak with your pediatrician. What they need is a bedtime story. I don't know, it's incredible. It's just incredible that people are so willing to pretend away things that are so concerning. Exactly, Robin. Exactly. And I don't get the 6:30 bedtime either. Why? Two parents, two kids. Sure seems to me they should have been able to have had an evening with their folks, you know? There was that one too. Where is it here? Let's see. Oh, I'm zooming on the comment thing. Hold on a minute. There was the one I hadn't I hadn't seen this in a long time, so when I read this it was like, "What?" September 29, 2014. Bella just can't catch a break. Back to back sick for over a month. 10 days with a cold, 15 days diarrhea, and now on day 3 of a cold again. She sounds like a bulldog, a cute one. I'm just glad she's still sleeping through the night. She needs it. Can't wait to wake her and suction the gunk out of her. If you can't find us, we will be steaming. Now that was in 2014, September of 2014, and that one got 26 likes. 26 likes. But keep in mind, those posts were up after the tragedy. So who knows how many of those likes were after the tragedy? 26 likes, and we are told over and over again how she had such a huge following. What was it? 15 days of diarrhea? Is that what it said? Yep, 15 days of diarrhea. Let's see if I can Google. I'm going to try to Google something. Let's just Google baby diarrhea 15 days. Chronic diarrhea of infants and young children on healthline.com. Call your child's doctor or pediatrician right away if they have diarrhea lasting more than 24 hours, especially if they also have a fever. Chronic diarrhea can lead to shock or organ damage in infants and young children. Diarrhea is also a major cause of malnutrition in children under the age of 5. So on healthline.com, they're saying, oops, where are you guys? There you are. On healthline.com, the article says that if your child has diarrhea for more than 24 hours, to call your pediatrician. I thought that was interesting too. This too shall pass, move on. Why was she posting if you can't find us? If you can't find us? What? Bling is the new black says, have you listened to that interview? What interview? Oh, you were talking to, okay. I don't know what you're talking about. Never mind. Or are you guys talking about the friends, the husband who said that all she had to do was listen to it or hear a new illness on a commercial and then she would say she had that illness too? Well, and that was in 2014, right? Exactly, Sandy. If a child has diarrhea for 15 days, really? Does anyone believe that? You know, that's what I was saying the other day. I'm beginning to think that a lot of this is just made up BS. You know? I mean, does anyone really believe that a child had diarrhea for 15 days straight? It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? And we've been lied to so many times. Could it be that Christopher Watt's wife just didn't know that children just simply don't have diarrhea for 15 days? Was she just unaware of that? I don't know. Was there a support group on Facebook for people whose children had diarrhea or something? Paula says she wanted them sick to get that disability check she was planning. So do you think, Paula, that maybe she was posting things like that they were sick all the time, but they really weren't? Because I'm beginning to think they really weren't. It's kind of like when she was in North Carolina posting that she had spotting and cramping and that she didn't go to the bathroom for how many days. I can't remember, but it was a long time, right? Does she really experience any of that? Or is she posting it for the shock factor, you know? Mama of one said that if she was getting it, that her kids would get it too. But I'm sure if the kids had whatever diagnosis going on, then it'd be a different thing. Right, that doesn't make sense, Izzy, because you're right. If she was spotting and cramping and hadn't had, for a long time, right? And yet she was complaining to her friends because she wanted sex. Like, if you're spotting and cramping, do you want sex? I don't think so. Sandy said, didn't she say she hadn't gone in 14 days? I didn't think about that. As far as you're right, it seems to be a little bit of a pattern. But again, it's so shocking. It's so unbelievable. Could it be that she was posting just made up crap? Do you guys remember the video that she made? I think she was in the kitchen and she was saying the kids were in the emergency room the night before. And, one of them had some kind of pneumonia. The other one, she couldn't remember what she had. She was in the emergency room, but she couldn't remember what she had. And then she said something really casual, like, oh, she'll just have to get through it. And I'm sorry, but I highly doubt, I don't know, it's taken me 2.5 years to begin to think like this, right? But I'm beginning to think it's all just a crock because there's just no way. There's no way that kids are constantly sick. And then in one of the police interviews of one of the relatives, they're like, oh, yeah, the kids were fine. Yeah, the kids were fine, except they, had asthma or whatever. And, they had a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But otherwise, oh, yeah, they were fine. Well, if they're sick constantly, how are they fine? Or were they fine? You know what I'm saying? Oh, Izzy's sharing a lot of information. You might want to delete that, Izzy. Talk about doxing yourself. It just seems like there are too many posts that just don't make sense, right? They just don't make sense. There are too many of them. Both kids are sick again, June. Both kids are sick again, July. Both kids are sick again, August. It's like a monthly thing. And if you take the dates, well, Izzy, they might have too much fun with too much information. That's all. I'm just teasing you. Do what you want, but that's a lot of information to put out there. But if you look at the dates and then you look at how many times she had other people staying there or how many times they were staying somewhere else or whatever, I don't find times where the kids, like, okay, I'll say it this way. They were healthy in North Carolina when they were with their grandparents, right? I think one time there was an ear thing and one time there was a tummy thing, right? So we're talking 6 weeks. They were fine. So you see what I'm saying? I mean, you could tell with the smiles on their faces, those pictures that Cindy sent me, they looked like their hair was growing, right? They looked like they were really doing well. Paul said that Christopher Watt's co-workers had a collection for the girls' medical fees. What? Are you kidding me? Whoa, 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 Paul, are you kidding me? They took up a collection for them and said they had medical fees? That's what I'm saying, Paula. Yeah, it's weird how they weren't sick. The time they spent in North Carolina, they looked in those photos like they were really, no pun intended, thriving. Paul said it's on one of the interviews. Probably one of the coworkers said that. Can you imagine that, taking up a collection? Can you imagine how Christopher Watts must have felt? I mean, he's a guy, right? And even guy or a man or woman, how would you feel if your coworkers were taking up a collection for you because they figured you had too many bills? He had good insurance. And remember how we were told that that bankruptcy was because of medical bills? But we looked at the bankruptcy. The total write-off was something like 70 grand, and the medical bills were like 4,000 something. Just imagine how Christopher Watts felt. I mean, wouldn't you feel kind of weird if your coworkers are taking up a collection for you, thinking you can't afford to get your kids their medical care? You know? Oh, wait, Paragon says it was a collection for allergy pillows, not medical expenses. Okay, allergy pillows don't cost very much. And actually, if your kids have severe allergies, then the cheaper pillows are actually what pediatricians will often recommend. Janine says hyperallergenic pillows are like $30 or less. Exactly, Lisa. Humiliated. What would that do to a man to all of a sudden have his coworkers saying, "Yeah, here you go, buddy. We know you can't afford to take care of your own kids." And I'm not saying that they would have ever said that to him, but I think that's how he would have felt. Lolly said, I always felt that she was a hypochondriac, but looking at all of her consecutive posts is disturbing. I think a hypochondriac actually believes that they're sick. I don't think that she actually believed that she was sick. And then the rest of it says disturbing, something more than way off. Mama of One says, didn't SW have a GoFundMe to go to her grandma's funeral too? I don't know if she had a GoFundMe or not, but I know that while she was at her grandmother's, after she had already flown there, then she had a post on her Facebook saying that it was not really her, that it was actually her friend posting for her to take up a collection so that she could go see her grandmother. And she was already there. Sandy makes an excellent point. Meanwhile, they're traveling all over the world and buying things she said can't afford, but I think she meant to say can't afford, but you can't afford allergy pillows. Mrs. Fluffer says, and that one person told SW that was wrong. Sandy says that she had a GoFundMe for her grandfather's funeral. I didn't know that. I didn't know she had any GoFundMes. Paula said, has anyone ever thought it was not the girl sick, but SW drinking, drugs, and mental issues? She couldn't take care of them because she was a hot mess. I am beginning to think, Paula, that maybe the girls weren't really sick. Maybe those posts, and the one that really bothers me when I think like that is the one where she said she could not remember why Bella, or not Bella, but why, what she said was both girls were in the emergency room the night before. She said Chris was upstairs doing the steam shower, I think, for Cece. And Bella was standing right in front of her saying she was cold, right? And then Chris came downstairs with Cece, and then Chris was getting the girls drinks and stuff. But I think it was that video, I'm pretty sure, where she said, oh yeah, one of them had whatever kind of pneumonia. I think she might have said viral. I'm not sure. One of them had pneumonia, and the other one, she could not remember what she had. Well, if you've ever been in the emergency room with a sick child, I think you pretty much know that you'll remember what it was that the child was diagnosed with. Sharon says they weren't sick, they were props for Facebook sympathy posts. Maybe sympathy, but maybe attention. Maybe look at me, I'm so amazing to be up at 5 a.m. taking care of sick kids. I'm going to read that first one again. Let me see if I can find it here quick. I think it was the first one. It says, this is real life. This is November 11, 2017. This is real life, up at 5 a.m. with 2 sick kiddos. Really? Ash and Emmy are saying when they were in North Carolina for those 6 weeks, the girls weren't sick. Not one doctor or ER trip, no urgent care visit, nothing. They were flourishing there. They were only sick when they were in Colorado. Sharon says, wasn't she adding that fever to the list as well? Yes, she was talking a lot about the whole familial Mediterranean fever. M10 says MBP parents make their children sick, though, not just lying. Right, you're right. But, if they were diagnosed with asthma, right? If they had stomach problems, if they had diarrhea, right? But to say 15 days of diarrhea, maybe it's a combination of both. This too shall pass, move on, said, I think there was someone who used her Facebook account to ask for money. I didn't see anything for her grandfather's funeral, but I saw one to go visit her grandmother, where the post said that it wasn't really her, that they were using her Facebook account to do a fundraiser to help her pay to go visit her grandma. And she was already there. So my reaction to that is maybe instead of saying it's to help her go visit her grandma, maybe they could have just posted to help her pay for her credit card, I mean, who does that? Who travels to go see a relative and then there's a post on their Facebook that they need help to go see their relative? Lisa said that Christopher Watts said they were sick more than they were at daycare. It makes me wonder how many days he missed from work, because that was something that was talked about back in 2018, was that he was missing so much time at work that it was a problem. And I guess that's another question. If he's working full time and she's a stay-at-home mom, retired nurse, then, right? Why is he taking all that time off work? Why is he there all the time? Well, my opinion on that. I don't know anybody who one parent's working and the other parent is at home and both parents, right? I don't know. Adam says this case was always about mental illness. Go back and try to watch her Thrive videos. Narcissism, neat freak, perfectionist. I don't think she actually did have OCD, Autumn. I think she just claimed to, because I think her friend was very well organized, and I think she wanted to say that she was just like her friend. And then Autumn said Chris finally snapped. Sharon said when she's home all day. Exactly. Orange Cat said the coworker said that he had to leave work every time the children were ill. Cosmo says, I wonder if the daycare center charged for days not in attendance. I would say probably, because that spot is taken, right? It's reserved for those kids, whether they're there or not. Sharon says, when I was sick, my mom looked after me. My dad still went to work. Lisa said that the coworkers said that if he was out, they knew it was sick kids. Doesn't it kind of make you wonder if maybe she was saying, oh, Chris, you have to come home. Oh, Chris, the kids are sick. Oh, Chris, you can't go to work today. I wonder if on the day that the tragedy happened, if she told him that he couldn't go to work that day. Because didn't he miss the Friday before? Because of her, quote unquote business trip. Private Pirate says if she wasn't allowed to drive, that would explain him leaving work. And here's the really sad part after the tragedy is that people aren't discussing it. People are afraid to discuss it. People are afraid to look at it and go, oh my gosh. They might know somebody who's acting the same way that they could help. Orange Cat, I believe that is the case. I don't believe she was able to take the kids anymore after December of 2016. That's what I've been told, and I tell you, it makes sense. It just makes sense. But a lot of these were before then, too, and, if she's there with 4 people plus the child being seen, maybe that was a control thing. I wondered that about the time that she claimed that Cece reacted to some kind of sliver of a nut. Maybe she was on the phone with him and she said, hey, come home early. And he's like, I can't, I have to work. And then all of a sudden, Cece had to be rushed to the nearest, emergency. After she gave her a bath. If any of you have a child with severe allergies, you know that if they're having a severe reaction, you don't take the time to give them a bath. There is no time to give them a bath. Paula says if you go back and look at her videos, a lot of them, she had a drink or wine in her hand, and in texts would say she needed a stiff drink. DG says it makes sense that she couldn't be with those kids alone. Her father had to fly out with her to go back to North Carolina. Well, he was there to watch the kids while they went to San Diego, I think. But yeah, it's interesting that, she's taking the girls on a vacation while her father's flying with her one way, and then Christopher Watts is flying out and flying back with her. I didn't see that, Lisa, no. Nope, I'm avoiding all other channels. I'm discussing the case. To heck with all the other channels. I didn't know that she said that. I had no idea that Lindstrom's wife said that. Ash and Emmy says that Chris she says, and didn't Chris say in his Wisconsin interview that the only time Cece coughed was when she ate too fast? And he said the most that would happen would be she would break out in a rash, nothing bad. Lavina says, absolutely, time is of the essence when it comes to an allergic reaction. You definitely are not taking the time to give them a bath. Lisa said, there you go. It was bling. Thanks. I couldn't remember. I don't know what that means. Sorry. You guys talk to each other in the chat, and if I missed the first part, I have no idea what the second part means. I just scrolled up, but I didn't see anything that looks like it fits. Private Pirate says, ever since you started doing live streams, I'm avoiding other channels too. I no longer have the time to watch anyone else. Yeah, I'm on a forget it. And if anyone hops on the panel and starts blabbing about other channels, it's going to be like microphone mute. Bling said, I just saw the interview when I saw your life pop up. What? Oh, you mean the live chat? So you guys, when I talk about spelling all the time, it's not for you, it's for me. Because when I read stuff and I go, huh? DG says she was full of it. She didn't want to have a dirty kid at the hospital or dirty kid in her car. But I highly doubt the kid was dirty. I don't think they ever got to just, run around outside and, you know. This too shall pass, move on says, and if the allergic reaction was so severe, why didn't she drive herself to the hospital or call for an ambulance? She did drive to the hospital after she gave her a bath first. Lavinia said she should have called 911. Scroll up to bling message, curious, C said, okay. Oh, I get it. So the other one was in response to bling. Got it. Okay. Jennifer first thought she took off and then thought she committed, and she never thought that CW did it. Really? I haven't seen that interview. That would be a good one to see. Jennifer says Bella was afraid of dirt and everything. Poor little soul. Bling says apologies. I'm driving and trying to listen. So you're driving and listening and texting. Oh no. DG said if she had throw up on her. Well, even then, if it's a severe reaction that needs emergency medical care, you don't care if there's vomit. Judy makes a good point. I don't think 911 was in their vocabulary. Paula had a thought. Let's see what Paula's thinking. Paula said, I had a thought about her dad flying back to North Carolina. They left 6 hours after her and CW got back from that trip. Oh, they left 6 hours after her and CW got back from that trip. That marriage was over. They wanted no more time together. CW looked unhappy on that trip. I do think the marriage was over already. I do. I think the marriage was over. And who knows, maybe she said something like, you're coming along with me. I have to, build my business. You're not going to blow my business. I'm successful. You're not going to blow it. Bling says it's really good and it's on Truth Talks Media on YouTube. Kay Cooper said, I saw that interview as well. His wife absolutely thought only those two scenarios. Took off with the girls or murder suicide. Yeah, I haven't seen that at all. That sounds like one I'm going to go ahead and look for and take a look at it. Oh, okay, good. So you're talking to your phone? That's good. Hands on the wheel, Bling. Hands on the wheel. So I don't know. What do you guys think? You like the idea of digging through the old vintage Mensa videos? The old, like the classic Coke, right? Oh, Paul, I forgot. You're right. She was making $67,000 a year. That's why she got a rental car when she was on vacation. Oh, wait. No, she didn't. I'll go ahead and take a look at the videos because I have literally hundreds of them. And it's kind of weird to listen to them, because I could tell by this video that we just listened to that it was done a long time ago because I was like, you know what? I think I'll do a video on that Nutgate. That deserves a video all on its own. And, just imagine how many videos have been done on Nutgate ever since, right? Kathy Jo said, I just sent you a CBS News article. I found MM. It references SW, LinkedIn profile, and what she listed as her profession. Okay. Hold on a minute, guys. I got to see here. Hold on. I have a question, though. Can you guys see this screen? Hold on. Let me double check. I'm not sharing screen. I can see me throwing my personal email out there. Did you guys see that when I just went to the other screen? Paul says, I'm not on the Facebook group. Was it called Nutgate before CW's second confession? Yes, it was called Nutgate early. Okay, good. Then I'll go ahead and look at it. I'm glad you guys answered me because I'm sitting there going, did you guys just see my email? Okay, let's see. Oh wait, that's not the email I'm looking for. Hold up, hold up. Oh wait, I don't know. Let me see if I can get into the other one. I don't think I can on this channel or on this, whatever you call it. Okay, Kathy Jo. About halfway through, there's a paragraph. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, isn't it? On her LinkedIn profile, thank you, Kathy Jo. On her LinkedIn profile, it says Human Resources Specialist. Oh, so that Lindstrom interview is new? I thought it was something that I missed. So it's a new one? No, it's not new, Paula? Kathy Jo, at the hospital. Yes, a human resources specialist at the hospital. I don't know how she could call that a caregiver. Ash and Emmy says, no, it's from August of 2020. Well, that's newer than like August of 2018. So that makes sense. I thought you were talking about something that they did in an interview back, at the time of the tragedy. So that'd be interesting to see. Sharon says, oh, I need to watch that. I do too, because you know what? That's very interesting if somebody is saying that. Izzy wants to know if it's on YouTube. No, Izzy, I think it's, scroll back up and it says where it's at. I'm scrolling, hold on. I'll put it back up on the thingy. Michelle, wait, I saw this one on my way there. Michelle says, can you show the old stuff about how the nursing program she said she was in didn't exist? I'll dig for that, Michelle, because that's an interesting one. That's where I took the screenshots of the actual information from the school she said had accepted her and everything. Yes, that's a really good suggestion. Okay, you guys, tell us again where that interview can be seen. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling, but I don't see it. I know it's here, but here it is. I found it. Bling said, yes, it's really good. It's on Truth Talks Media. So it is on YouTube. Okay. It's on Truth Talks Media on YouTube. Oh, Ash and Emmy put it up there. Yes, it's on Truth Talks channel. Well, I'm scrolling. You guys already have the answer. That's funny. Well, I'm glad that she's speaking what she believes, what her opinion is, you know. I'm actually very proud of them for actually speaking their opinion instead of just going along with whatever, right? Jane said, I would love to see the video when Bella is upset about Cece being taken away. My first live as I live in Australia and having a day off. Loving it. Are you talking about the one where Bella had her arm around Cece and she's like, no, no, don't take her? That one? Good night, Izzy. So if that's the opinion of Mrs. Lindstrom, isn't that interesting? I mean, if you think about it, they knew the Lindstroms pretty well, right? Everyone's saying good night, Izzy, if you can still hear this. Sharon's saying night, Izzy. Paul said night, Izzy is. Bling says what's interesting is that they sell no red flags, or C, I think is what Siri meant to type. What's interesting is that they see no red flags about him, but the red flags were about her. That's exactly what happened to me when I looked at this case. I was looking for red flags. I was looking for signs that he was some sort of an abuser, and I didn't find any. But boy, I tell you, that water in the face video, the whack-a-daddy video, Bella wasn't crying in that video until her mother was acting like she was going to make her go do that whack-a-daddy game. Sharon, I think that they were harassed pretty bad. If I remember correctly, they were harassed pretty bad for that first interview. Well, not for that. They were obviously being harassed because the people harassing them evidently don't mind harassing people. But it was back, I think, in 2018 when they were harassed pretty bad. So, do any of you have dirt driveways? Just totally off on a different topic. And if so, or even if you don't, are you familiar with the term mud running? Have you ever gone mud running? For you older folks, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Because, life used to be a lot more boring than it is now. So we knew what mud running meant. Bling is the New Black says that they knew her better than they knew him. I didn't know that. Sharon says exactly. I defended them on comments. Shows when people who knew her are truthful about how she was, people don't accept it. Sharon says, never heard that. You never heard of mud running? That's kind of what Hicks do, right? They go out climbing hills and stuff that are mud. Well, when I pulled in my driveway tonight, it was like mud running, let me tell you. Spring is on the way. Yeah, at least we thought it was fun, huh, Paula? And it actually was fun. But today, as I'm tooling up the driveway, I'm like, I am mud running. See you later, Bling. Exactly. When you get the ice and the snow and it's super super bad, then all of a sudden the ice melts and you get to go mud running. Sharon says, is it an American thing? I think it's an older American thing because I think it was more like back in the 70s that mud running was fun. This too shall pass, move on says, your wheels turn and turn and turn. Well, you got to kind of stay up on the bank on one side and then fly to the other side of the other bank. Daisy Days knows what we're talking about. Private Pirate says, my backyard is a mud run ever since we adopted a terrier. Oh, that's cute. No more walking barefoot for you, Private Pirate. Well, I'll go ahead and dig and see if I can find that one about the nursing school thing. I think that was a really good suggestion. Sharon wants to go to Memphis. That'd be a fun trip, wouldn't it? I take it you're an Elvis fan. Why would you say Memphis if not an Elvis fan? Are you an Elvis fan, Sharon? Do you want to see Graceland? Is that why you want to go to Memphis? Or do you want to like cut your first record? I'll do that though. I'll dig around and see if I can get my hands on the one about the nursing school? Yes, Graceland. You and me both. I've never been to Graceland, but I think it'd be really fun to go see it. Exactly. Daisy Day says, who doesn't love Elvis? Sharon says, definitely, I love Elvis. Ooh, Paula's been there twice. Okay, Paula, then when Sharon wants to head over here to see Graceland, then you can be our tour guide. Boy, can you imagine that? A pack of us heading to Memphis to go see Graceland? We'd probably get lost. But it'd be fun. This too shall pass, move on says that I'm not going to say this because you know what? You're kind of doxing yourself a little bit. Not really because you don't live there, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, really, Sharon. Paula's been there twice. I've been to the Grand Ole Opry. I can't even remember who was up there, but they were, let me think, who was it? Was it Minnie Pearl or no? It was a long time ago. I can't remember. I think Minnie Pearl was up there, and I think that guy who I think was with Dolly Parton way back in the day before Burt Reynolds, but I don't think they were together. Who was it who wore that suit jacket, you know? Was that Porter Wagner maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. Seriously, I'm just guessing. Was Porter Wagner the one who sang with Dolly Parton? Kay Cooper says that in North Carolina it's called muddin'. I've always called it mud running. Yeah, Porter Wagner. Okay, the guy who wore like the the slick white hair, kind of. Same here, Sharon. And back in the '60s, we watched all of the movies, right? Kenny Rogers or Porter Wagner? It was Porter Wagner. It was cool. Looks like we're gonna have to plan a trip to Memphis for all the BOBs. That'd be fun. That'd be something to look forward to. Oh wow, Lolly says that it's called, how do you say it? Mud boggin? Like toboggan? Mud boggin? That's kind of, I like that better than mud running. Paula says that they even talk about his love of peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Elvis rocks. Yeah, really, Daisy Days. A GoFundMe. GoFundMe for the Mensa Bobs. For the Bobs who love Elvis. The Elvis fan club. Can you imagine being his wife and being so young and then meeting him and everything when he was in the service? Just imagine. Is that how you say it? Like toboggan? Mud boggin? Sharon has an Elvis tattoo? Are you kidding me? You really have an Elvis tattoo? Ah, Paula will be our tour guide. I think you'll be our number one fan if you're gonna get a tattoo of Elvis's name. I don't know how to say his birthplace. Is it Tupelo? Lavina said that she saw his birthplace. I think you say it Tupelo, but I'm not sure. A couple of years ago, he was quite poor. I don't think he ever went without, though. Wasn't he an only child? Did they have another one, maybe? But they didn't live or something? I can't remember. And it sounds like his parents were very devoted to him, to raising him well. Yes, Sharon, he was gorgeous then. Paula said she couldn't handle the press bothering them all the time. I think that broke up the marriage. Oh, it was his twin even. Okay. I thought there was another one. Wasn't his name Jesse or something? I can't remember. Was his twin named Jesse? That is called random trivia. I have no clue, but it seems to me it might have been that the twin was Jesse. Paula, when you said that about the press and the all the headlines and everything, did he have girlfriends when he was married to her or no? Or did the tabloids just like go wild with stories? It seems he had a lot of different women. And I'm thinking he may have been accused of it like when he was married. Oh, wow, look at you, Jane. So his twin was named Jesse? Man, that's kind of weird that that's in my brain. What was Elvis's middle name? Vernon? Was it Elvis Vernon Presley or what? Oh, Elvis Aaron. Okay, so Garen and Aaron. Okay, got it. Vernon was his dad's name, right? Paula said, I think he loved her very much and the gossip caused the issues. Interesting. I know the tabloids were terrible about saying he had girlfriends, right? So it was Jesse Garen and Elvis Aaron. You guys realize we're really weird to know these things, right? Like, I'm weird to have thrown out the name Jesse. You guys are really weird to know all the details. Daisy Day says, anyone seen that pastor who some claim is really Elvis? I've never heard that. This too shall pass, move on says I never knew he had a twin. I wasn't I wasn't thinking twin, but I was thinking there was another baby besides him. I didn't know that he had a grandson that passed. Wow, Paula, you know a lot more than me. He always talks so nice about his mom, didn't he? Lolly says random trivia. Men says rules. Yeah, like I said, the mud running thing was kind of off topic. Of course, mud running got us to talking about Elvis. Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa. There's probably nothing more painful than listening to a bunch of people who love Elvis then. Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea. I hadn't heard that, Sharon. So the twin died at birth. Ooh, I didn't know that either. Yes, his mom adored him. And he adored his mom, you know. I think he always took really good care of his parents. It's too bad that he and Priscilla ever divorced. That's really sad. Sharon says, I loved the way he loved his mama. And his story is so interesting too. The way he, was just really a simple guy, right? He was different, right? But boy, could he sing and play the guitar. Well, guys, I'll go ahead and dig that out. If I can easily get it, if it's on this computer, then we'll go ahead the next time and take a look at that nursing school information. I think that'll be interesting to look at. And again, I think this is information that the people who are newer to discussing the case probably have never seen before, probably don't have a clue what we're talking about. So I think it'll be good to actually show these words being posted by Christopher Watt's wife herself. I think that is good information for people to be able to look at. So let's go ahead and wrap it up and say good night. Everyone, have a good rest of the week. I'll probably pop on maybe Wednesday or Thursday and we'll do a little live chat to look at that nursing school stuff. If not, I'll find another one because I have a lot of screenshots. Lisa says, and shake his booty. You guys are cute. Okay, everyone, let's say goodnight. I'll start it off with goodnight, John Boy. See you in a few days. Robin says, bye, hugs to all. Oh, and it went really fast. I went to click on it and it flew right up because you guys are posting. Okay, Robin says, bye, hugs to all. Lavina says, cool. Jane says, housework now. Paula says, night, MM. Sharon says, night, Mary Ellen. Lavina says, good night. Daisy Day says, night, all. Sharon says, what? Oops. Lisa says, night, everyone. Sharon says, what a brill live. Glad I caught it. I don't know what that means, but I'm glad you caught it too. Jessica says, good night, all. Paula says, good night, chat. Lally says, didn't he marry her when she was 14? No. She was, I think, 14 the first time they met, but he was actually, I think, invited to her family's home when he was serving in the army, right? Am I right, guys? And then I think, didn't they write letters and stuff? I think she was probably quite a bit older when they got married. Lisa says, night, Mama. Lavinia said, yes, when they met. Lavinia says, yes, you got it. Okay, you guys, we'll say it again. Good night, all, and see you in a couple, 3 days.